Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Jamaica Roots TV. Hope you're all doing well today. Thank you for liking the video and thank you for subscribing as well. The more likes you put on the video, the more YouTube will promote the video. So thank you for that. Happy Emancipation Day. Nanny's words that were recorded or documented by Lieutenant Philip Thickness, who was in a battle with the Maroons. So it's a very exciting video and informative, because when I found out about it, I was so excited because I've never seen anything written about Nanny's words. So let's get to the video. Doing this video as an ode to our ancestors, right? Like a tribute. So this video is going to be about some words that Nanny spoke 283 years ago approximately. So I was so excited. I came upon this book, Memoirs and Anecdotes of Philip Thickness. So he was a lieutenant governor, of course, in the British Militia in Jamaica at the time of the Maroon War. It was about the same time the peace treaty was signed by Kodjo in St. Elizabeth, a Kampong town to be exact, which is about 5 minutes from my mother's birthplace. So the Maroons in Portland, they were still battling. And according to Philip, they did not know that Kodjo had signed the peace treaty. And it clearly says in this book, signed the peace treaty accepting Governor Trelawney's rules. Because the way the peace treaty is set up, it doesn't even look like it's a peace treaty. It looks like it's outlined, you're going to be doing X, Y, Z. And I think it was about 17 bullet points, right? If I'm not mistaken. The treaty was signed on Governor Trelawney's terms. The same Trelawney, his name was used to name that parish, right? So yeah, so we're going to be looking at the words that Nanny spoke 283 years ago. Philip Memoirs book, and it is he passed away in 1792, right? And he wrote all this experience about 20 years old, because it was 1738 and he was born in 1719, so probably not even quite 20 years old as yet, right? A very young man. And he recorded these words, and we're grateful for that. At least someone recorded Nanny's words. And now we, descendants of that people, because I was told Nanny herself did not have any children. So, as you know, history has it that 5 of them came in a slave ship and they spread out across Jamaica. So history has it that Nanny came with her brothers in a slave ship. So you had Nanny and her brothers Kwaho, Johnny, Kodjo, and a Kongpong, right? And we don't know much about Johnny, and we hear a lot about Kodjo, of course, and Nanny, and then Kwaho to a lesser extent, right? So and out across Jamaica, and they formed their different pockets of resistance. Young man, when all of this was going on, probably about 20 years old. He recorded these words, and we're grateful for that. At least someone recorded Nanny's words. And now we, descendants of that people, because I was told Nanny herself did not have any children. So, as you know, history has it that 5 of them came in a slave ship and they spread out across Jamaica and created different pockets of maroon towns, right? So you had like Nanny in the east with Kwaho. Kwaho had a lot of leadership skill. Called him to speak, negotiation skills and all of that, but he had to still refer back to Nanny. I guess she did not want to speak up, probably. Number one, she was a woman. Number two, she was not fluent with the language. And this man, of course, a Caucasian man, was saying that he was impressed with Kwao's English language skills. So he was saying he must have been grown up on the plantation or spent a lot of years on the plantation, had good customs, good manner. He was respectable. and he knew how to speak and he knew how to negotiate. And he didn't make any decisions when he was speaking to this lieutenant. Like after the war, they came together and they were talking about, so what are we gonna do? Are you gonna sign the peace treaty? Your brother in St. Elizabeth, Kodja, has already signed on Governor Trelawney's terms, right? And they, of course, in Portland didn't even know that that was happening. So it was, to me, a little bit of a pressure for them. Like, they've signed already. What are you waiting on? We need to get this thing going, right? So, of course, Qual went back to Nanny, and Nanny would not have any part of it, right? She did not want, she wanted the entire island, like everyone, the people on the plantation as well as the Maroons, to be freed and, have their run of Jamaica, like no enslavement whatsoever. She did not want to leave the people on the plantations behind. So, of course, she resisted in the beginning, and then maybe she folded after that, because when Qual went to her, she was like, no. Lieutenant Thickness recorded these words that Nanny spoke. Qual consulted Queen Nanny about the treaty terms, right? What that the governor terms, the one that they're proposing from Governor Trelawney, right? He sent men up there in Maroon Town to negotiate, and so she opposed. Her words, "Him bring Bakra for take the town." A couple days before, they had a war in the Spanish River, and these are the words that Nanny spoke when she was consulted, right? She said, "Him bring Bakra for take the town." So cut is head off. So him bring Bakra for take the town is head off. So these are Nanny's words. Nanny was the one who passed the DEATH sentence on British prisoners captured in Nanny Town. He was referring to some prisoners that were taken from the recent battle at the Spanish River. Philip Thickness, the lieutenant, described her as an older lady. Of course, she was an older lady by now, because he referred to her as an old hag, which is a very bad term, but we have to say it. Nanny was the one who passed the death sentence on British prisoners captured in Nanny Town. When he saw her around 1738, she wore a girdle around her waist, about 9 to 10 knives hanging in sheets. And he didn't describe her any further, which is very sad. He should have told us how she looked. We are told that she is very small woman, very slim build, wiry frame, and she probably were in her 50s or 60s at about that time, right? So, and she may not even be in her 50s or 60s. She could be in her 40s, but they just said she looked old, like an old, he said old hag. Remember, this man is like 19 years old, so probably she was in her 40s, and he's referring to her as an old hag. Okay, so it's very exciting to know that someone recorded. He did not want any part of the peace treaty, so they recorded her saying, "No, I don't want it. Like, basically, I'm not interested, because Trelawney sent white soldiers up in my town to take my town and destroy my people's home and to take out my people. So I'm not going to sign any treaty by Governor Trelawney." That is what she was telling them. So because Nanny Town was invaded, and Nanny, of course, was upset about this. So after they took some prisoners from the Spanish River, that was the site of a battle in the Maroon War, she basically passed DEATH sentence. Him bring Bakra for take the town. So cut is HEAD off. That was her words, because she felt that her people, our people were being ostracized, our people were being attacked. They were in their home. They made their home in the hills, like virtually almost inaccessible. And they still determined to find their way up there. So Nanny was very mad, very upset, I can imagine. And she basically passed a sentence of death upon them. Right? So those are Nanny's words in Bring Bakra for Take the Town. That's Nanny's town. So we're going to do some other follow-ups, excerpts and all that, just talking about it really, and bringing it to light to so many people, because I've never been told by any teacher that Nanny's words were recorded. So when I found it in this book, I was so excited, and we were never exposed to play by play the battles that they went through for us. So seeing that it's Emancipation Day and they were totally, defending their area, these men were attacking them, and the soldiers, the white soldiers, said they were basically, in my own words, they were militant. These people knew what they were doing, right? And there was no way, if the governor did not get that peace treaty signed, there was no way the British would have taken Jamaica by force. He said these Maroons would have controlled the entire island if the war persisted, because they knew what they were doing, right? So I guess the British, they were tired of, attacking the Maroons or having the Maroons come down to the plantation. They literally fought for their lives, like in the mountains, on the rivers, on the plains of Jamaica. And our footsteps go over these places without thinking what occurred here 200-300 years ago. So next time you visit the Spanish River, just remember a great battle took place there between the British and the Maroons of Portland. Thank you for joining me on this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and take care of yourself and others. Bye for now.